Hello, welcome. Today we are going to have a discussion on fundamentals of pointers in C. As we all know, the pointers is considered to be one of the most difficult concepts to handle or understand in C. Let us try to have a discussion on the very basics of pointers. So, pointer is a variable that stores the address of another variable. Pointers can be created to store the address of any valid data type or structure variables. Pointers can be used for doing operations on arrays, strings, etc. Pointers are also capable of storing addresses of other pointers of the same type. Now, this was some of the features or theoretical concepts regarding pointers. Now, to better understand, we'll put the pointer concept into an example and then we'll try to explain the concept of pointers. So let us have two variables a and b of integer type having values 5 and 10 respectively. Now when you create these variables, some memory will be allocated to both a and b, and the values 5 and 10 will be stored respectively in the address fields of a and b. Both a and b will have its own memory location in the memory. This is how you are going to create a pointer variable. As we have seen in the previous slide, pointer is a variable that stores the address of another variable. So this is the syntax of how we can create a pointer. So it is like int star p. So star p will help the compiler understand that it is a pointer being created. It will be of integer type, so this pointer p will be able to store the address of an integer variable. Now this way we are just going to declare the pointer. Still we have not stored any address into this. Now how to put an address into a pointer? So this is how we are going to make some value to be stored in p. So p equal to ampersand a. So ampersand here represents the address. So address of a is now being stored in the p. So p is now pointing to a. That is how we call it. Let us see this table. So far what we have done, we have created variables a and b having values 5 and 10 respectively, and we have created a pointer. Now a, let us say it's stored at location 102 and b is stored at 106. So it is of type integer, so that is why it will occupy 4 bytes here, and after those 4 bytes we will have some variable b that is stored at next immediate location in the memory, and p, as we have seen here, is going to store the value or the address rather of a. So you can see here this variable p is created and it is holding the value 102, which is nothing but the address of a. And of course it is going to have its own memory location, which is, let us say, 28. So now we can say that p is pointing to a. Now if you try to print the value of a, obviously we know that value 5 is stored in a. So if you try to print the value of a, it will print 5. Now let us try to print p. So when I try to print p, what is the content of p here? You can see 102. So value 102 is stored in p. So that will be displayed if you try to print the value of p. Now this is something very interesting. Print star p. Now star p, this star is called as a dereference operator. So we are dereferencing here. It means star p is value at the address stored by p. So which address is stored by p? That is 102, and value at this address is what? 5. So print star p will print 5 because it is pointing to a. So whatever is the value of a, that will be referred to by star p. Now let us see one more thing, that is p plus plus. As we know, plus plus operator is used for incrementing the value by 1. Now here in this case, we are not incrementing the value of a variable. We have to note that we are incrementing the pointer here. P is a pointer. So when you use plus plus operator along with a pointer, so currently it is pointing to address location 102. When you say p plus plus, so it will increment the address location by the next slot. So it will refer now to 106. So as you can see here, previously this value was 102 and now it has been changed to 106 because the next consecutive block is 106 after 102. So that value will be incremented and it will be stored in as a new value of p. And of course 106 is the value of b, is the address of b rather. That is why now p is not pointing to a, it is now pointing to b. So now if we print the same, write the same statement star p, print star p, so it is value at the address stored by p. So now what address is stored by p? It is 106. So the value stored at this address is what? 10. So the same statement print star p is now going to give you the output 10. Now this is something different. See, we have written star p plus plus. Star p we have put into bracket. So this means value at the address of p, that is currently we have seen it is 10, and that value will be now incremented. So have you understood the difference between p plus plus and star p plus plus? P plus plus will increment the pointer location and star p plus plus will increment the value stored at that address. So the address location will not be changed, but the value stored at that address will be incremented by 1. So value stored at this address is 10. So it is nothing but 10 plus plus. So it will be like 11. So the value will change from 10 to 11 and still it is pointing to b itself, but now the value which was present at this address is incremented by 1, so this is 11. So the output, if you try to print star p now, star p value at the address stored by p, so the address stored is 106 and what is the value at this address now? It is 11. So this way it will print 11. So these were some of the basic concepts regarding pointers, how to create a pointer, how to make that pointer point to some variable, and how to use it in different conditions. Now this way, here we have created an integer pointer which is capable of storing the address of integer variable. Same way we can create a pointer for character, float, double, etc. We can create variables of those types and we can create the pointers also of those types which will be storing the addresses of those particular variables. So this is all about the basics that we were going to discuss this time, and we will explore some more details on pointers next time. Thank you very much.